This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
You all have been in a relationship for 2 years, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
But the interesting thing is you all reconnected after 20 years?
Yes.
Is that correct? All right, tell me, Ms. Brooks, why you had brought your boyfriend here.
Well, Your Honor, I moved my family clear across the United States to come be with him after 20 years, and I believe he's cheating on me.
Mr. Edwards, what do you hope to prove in court today?
I want to be with her, spend the rest of my life with her, and I'm trying to make this work.
And what do you hope to prove to her today about her allegations?
That I love her and I'm not cheating on her.
Ms. Brooks, if he is cheating, what does that mean?
My stuff already packed. I'm ready to go back. He wants to get married next month. The house is picked out. So I packed my stuff up when he told me he ready for me to come back weeks ago. But I needed to know this before I go back because I already looked stupid once.
Okay, there's a lot of drama going on here, but you all have known each other for 20-some years.
Yes.
Let's go back to when you first met.
I met her through my cousin, who was my best friend. I was kind of shy at the time, so I would never really say nothing, but I would make my way to be around her.
All right, did you see that little smile, Mr. Cutler? Look.
I see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so, how long were you all together at that time?
Through the whole teenage years.
And at some point, you went your separate ways.
Yeah, how did you lose touch?
Her mother moved her to Detroit, and she had to.
So when you reconnected, what was that like? That was good, right?
That was one. It caught me off guard.
Okay. And what was good about it when you reconnected?
He sent a message on Facebook, and I'm sending him a message back like, is this you, really you? He like, yeah. I said, call me on the break. And he called me in that voice, Lord.
And so when you got back together, the things you liked about him before were the same things you liked about him when you reconnected?
Oh, it came back in me. Oh, through the phone.
All right, so what were some of those things? What did you like about him?
That voice, I'm telling you.
The voice.
You hear this man's voice? Like, I mean, not everybody got a voice like that.
All right.
All right, so let me just ask you this. Did you have butterflies when he was like, yeah, it's me?
Girl, I started crying. I was crying at work.
Well, wait a minute. Let me hear how that sounded when you talked to her the first time. Let me hear it for myself.
Hey, baby.
Oh, all right, you win. You put that velvet on her. I ain't mad.
Okay. So you reconnected.
Yes.
When did you finally see each other after that?
Like 2 weeks later, after contacting her through Facebook.
I said, I'm coming. His birthday is Christmas. I couldn't make it for Christmas. I was driving. I drove 30 hours.
You drove 30 hours
30 hours to come and see him. I needed
during the holiday?
During the holiday. I came to him. I made it to him New Year's Eve. It was a blizzard in El Paso when I drove through. I was on the highway for 6 hours, me and the kids, but thank God I had a TV in the car. But 6 hours standstill.
So what did you think when you put your eyes on her? Because she's beautiful. What did you think?
She looked the same as when I first seen her, so we went to my mother's house. You know, at this time, my mother was sick and was going back and forth for, like, treatment and stuff like that. And when she seen her, she immediately knew who she was and put a big smile on my mother's face I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah, I didn't know his mother's condition. He did not tell me nothing, so it kind of hurt, you know, because I
broke your heart to see his mother that way?
Broke my heart to see him that way because he bottles it up.
Okay.
I had just lost my dad in 2014, so this was 2015 that I met with him, and he didn't tell me that his mom was sick. It's just all of that came back.
All right, so you all reconnect. It is a beautiful thing. What happened?
3 months in, I'm seeing texts and women coming by the house, the ex coming over there. It's just a lot of drama started immediately. The girls didn't want to see me there.
So this is after you move across country?
Yep. I moved out of a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom house to a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house.
Okay, wait. You moved across the country.
Packed my stuff up in the storage and came to him.
And then you find texts from other women. What else did you find?
Like, I've seen text messages. I got in the car one time, he left his phone in my car. I'm sitting on the car taking the kids to school and it's buzzing, ding, ding, ding. He left his messenger open on Facebook. He said he going back and forth with 4 girls all at once.
I have something to say, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. I need to hear something.
Me entertaining other women, we live in Missouri. She would take her kids, they're supposed to drop them off to the kids' grandparents.
Yeah.
And she would go there, lose signal, lose service.
There's no service in that town. And it's an hour and 15 minutes away.
Stay all night, come in the next morning, I don't know what she been doing.
Their grandmother is like a mother to me. I don't have my mother or my father.
She's spending
That's
the
who I
night.
spend the time with. There's
Spending the
nobody
night.
there but the grandmother.
She's spending the night.
He doesn't
Your Honor.
like that.
Did you know that she was gonna spend the night?
No. Every time
Did you
she
tell him you
No.
were gonna spend the night?
Sometimes I didn't because I wasn't about to argue with him. He talking to other females. What I need to tell you something
The females
for?
come after this.
No, the females
Okay.
been. He's blatantly said he's spiteful. If he feel like I'm spending too much time with my kids' grandparents, then he's gonna be spiteful.
Do you have proof that he's actually been unfaithful?
I just got proof. I got a text message that I took a screenshot of him going back and forth with one of his coworkers.
Ron, would you please get that
Yes, Your Honor.
document, please?
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Okay, so let me read this. It says, I seen you going in the office, what shift? Then there's a response that says, what? None, wanted a hug, but okay, good night. Call me real quick,
Never mind, going to the house.
don't want to get busted again.
I mean,
That right there, that went on after the fact that she made me feel some type of way. Like, before she moved here, before she came to where I was at,
Yeah.
we would talk all the time on the phone when she was living in Vegas, and all our conversation was about me and her. She made me think that we like Bonnie and Clyde and just me and her. She don't have nobody but me. And she gets here, stuff started changing.
that wasn't it, Your Honor. 2 weeks before I moved there, my children's grandfather passed away.
Okay.
I'm not gonna not go to this man's funeral. He's been my life for my entire life.
Okay, you can't build a relationship on being spiteful.
How can you build a relationship
Well-
letting your significant other, like, I'm going here and I'm gonna be here. She's leaving here to drop the kids off and you not returning. This more than one occasion.
Okay, but
This-
your ex
and
is
then-
steady
and
coming over there telling me y'all messing around. You still
Okay,
with her.
what? Is that another incident?
His ex is asking him for sex and text messaging.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on.
Hold on,
Mr.
hold on.
Edward, your ex is asking you for sex.
Yes, and I show her those. Look.
You show-
I show
He
her.
showed
like,
it to me, and then I called her myself.
What did you say?
I said, why are you sending him text messages begging for sex? Who does that? That ain't no woman.
And what did she respond?
And she said that she laughed. And she said, what did he say? I don't have to tell you nothing.
Mr. Edwards, so your ex is trying to
time I
break
had
you
sex-
all up.
Yeah, the last time I had sex with her, it'll be 2 years.
Do you believe that, Ms. Brooks?
Heck no.
You believe he's having sex with somebody
I
else?
believe he's doing something.
What other evidence do you have that he's doing something?
Just the females coming by the house and the
Okay.
text messaging.
Okay, wait, hold on. All right. So you're at the house that you all.
At the house while he's at work.
Okay, women are coming by the house.
Yes.
They.
Why
What do
at
they say?
work?
They ring the doorbell,
Ring
knock on the door,
doorbell.
and they say what?
Oh, so you're his girlfriend. I just want to come see who you were.
Your Honor,
I
I
just
don't
want to
even
come
have a
see how
doorbell.
you look like. You causing a disruption between everybody. And I'm like, how am I causing a disruption? Because he's still messing with me and he still has other women. Like, you're not the only woman. And then another girl I've never seen in my life before, she just came over there and said, well, you need to leave because it's going to get real messy. Why? Why are you here?
So you get all this information.
Yes.
What do you do with it?
I packed my stuff up and slowly but surely put it in a little local storage, a little stuff that I did have there, packed it up, and then one day while he was at work, I left. I'm paying over $300 a month for 10 months for storage to keep my stuff there that I moved here for him. You know what I'm saying? We could have been had my stuff there. We could have been living life. I got the house picked out, picked out the same replica house that I had there in the town he lived in. But I'm not gonna move in it. So my stuff is still out there on the West Coast, $300-something a month.
And it's been how long since you've had your items in storage?
10 months.
10 months. So that comes to $3,087?
Yes, ma'am. He said he had my back and I had his.
And you got here and had everybody else back.
No, I had
And
you
mine
back.
second. Your Honor, but you in a relationship with somebody, you don't go somewhere else and stay out all night and not tell that person. Cause she do you like that, not return?
Well,
Can I do that?
no, you can't do that.
Just
Oh,
exactly.
and can I do that?
No.
All right.
And,
So,
and my actions was reactions to her actions.
You don't go with no other
I'm
female.
responsible for my own actions.
No,
but
that's
she's not-
trifling.
She's painting a picture of an angel.
So every time that I go or something happens or a family member dies, my aunt's sick right now, God forbid she ain't dead when I get there. And you gonna tell me that because I take you home and I go back to Arkansas, you gonna have a problem with that? Because that's what you own. Anything Arkansas has to do with an ex.
Don't you communicate in a relationship?
There is so much passion in this relationship.
I break my neck for him, Your Honor.
Okay.
But for me, when it's about me and my things, he won't come for me.
Let me speak. But when there's this much passion and it's misdirected,
yes,
it's going to cause you to be right here where you are.
Exactly.
I can tell you love each other. You have had a long, slow burn love all this time. But the real deal is that's not enough to sustain a relationship.
Right.
And there's no trust here. So that's going to be a problem.
It is.
And it's not enough to just keep pointing, well, I did this because you said that, and I did that because you did this. That's not going to work.
When she was out there, everything was about us communicating. As soon as she got out of here, communication, it got different.
But your behavior has been spiteful. You're texting other women. You have women coming by the house. I mean, those kinds of things.
This same ex would call her and she wouldn't even answer the phone.
I understand that, but I'm talking about your behavior.
Yeah.
And your behavior in response to her taking care of her family, that's just spite. Yeah. And you're using it as an excuse.
Well, what about her answering? He called. What about
I have no reason to answer for him.
And she's not answering the phone?
Mr. Edwards, if you're talking about communication, the conversation should be something like this. Honey, I don't like you going to Arkansas, but I understand you got business. You got a family you taking care of. But here's what I need from you. I need you to text me, call me, send up a flare, something to tell me you coming back home, you're there safely, but deciding she didn't call me, so I'm gonna do a booty call is not appropriate. So let me just say to you, it is not acceptable, even taking care of your kids, to disappear and not call him. You take the high road. You don't go low because he went low. Because then he can't stand here and tell me about what you did.
Right.
So what you do is you do the right thing. The right thing is always right.
Right.
To get to the bottom of this, the court has engaged the services of a licensed private investigator. Ron, would you please escort Mr. Todd Redding into the courtroom?
Yes, John. Mr. Redding?
Mr. Redding, as part of the investigation for this case, what did you do?
Your Honor, I have several polygraph examiners that are certified. We performed a polygraph on Mr. Edwards, and I'm here to report their findings.
All right. Mr. Edwards was asked from August 2016 through June 2017, have you had sexual intercourse with any woman other than Miss Brooks? What was his response?
Mr. Edwards' response was yes.
So he confessed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who did you have a sexual encounter with?
I can't say the name of her. I would tell her, but I'm not going to say it here.
Is she a co-worker?
No, not a co-worker.
Is she a friend?
But you're admitting that you cheated.
In March when she left. When I came home and everything on her side of the room was gone, the TV, the lamp, and me reaching out to her, can't get a hold of her, it was a situation that occurred then.
And you have not moved back with him since March, have you?
I have a key. I go back every other week. All he talk about is we're going to get married and that we're going to leave and going to Florida in August.
Your Honor, it happened and I felt bad about it, and
So
it wasn't even a thing that continued. I wasn't going to tell you. I let her different ways know. I brought this up to you.
But Mr. Edwards, why did she have to find out for the first time in court today?
I tried to tell her. I didn't want to lose her, especially like
You know what? The truth will hurt for a little bit, but a lie will hurt forever.
Mr. Edwards, is there anything that you would like to say to Ms. Brooks?
I'm sorry. I apologize, and I hate that I hurt you. I understand you feeling like how you feel, and I apologize for that.
All right.
Ms. Brooks, are you done?
Yeah.
You're done?
Yes.
There's nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Mr. Edwards, you lost a good woman.
Yeah, I understand that.
There are not very many women who would just pick up their life and travel halfway across the country. Not only have you lost her as a lover, you've lost her as a friend. She's been your friend for the last 20 years.
You all are married. You've been married 2.5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all met in high school and reconnected. Is that correct?
Yes,
Correct.
Your Honor.
Miss White, can you tell me why you brought your husband here today?
Because I want to know if my husband cheated on me after I had my
didn't.
baby last year.
So why do you think your husband cheated on you after you had a baby?
His past behavior that he had.
I was weak at that time. I was trying to fill a void, and that's the past. You got to let that go.
Are you in love with her?
Yes, I am.
What are you here to prove today?
Today, that after May of last year, I have been faithful to her.
So the last time you cheated was a year ago.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's saying that. Have you believed him?
No, ma'am. The actions that he showed me, it's like he goes out with his friends, don't come home until 2 a.m.
So this marriage is on the rocks.
Obviously.
If it comes back today that in fact your husband has not cheated since he last told you that he did, are you going to be able to put the past behind you and move forward?
I want to build trust with him, but he doesn't give me that assurance that I
that's in the
can
past,
trust him
sweetheart.
again.
Look, love, you don't throw a house up in one stone.
Yeah.
You take one stone at a time.
Yeah.
And if he's been in the game building stone after stone for the last year, then that foundation is slowly being laid. I'm not asking you to say, oh, I'm going blind. I'm just saying you got to give a brother a chance.
Yeah, but it's just I'm hurt from everything he's done.
That's right, Your Honor. That's right.
So, Mr. Gunnels,
Yes,
do
Your
you
Honor.
understand that your family, your home, is at risk today?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm really here to clear the air and assure her that I'm not doing those things.
Miss White, at one point, you loved him.
Yes, I did, dearly.
Okay, I reviewed your case file, the things that you filed with this court, and I saw your wedding video, and you all were happy.
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
very
Yes,
happy.
we were.
Tell me about the happy times.
The happy times I can recall, he'd give me flowers. I wasn't used to that. So I have the petals I saved.
It's very sweet.
I have them here.
And those are the petals that he gave you when?
3 times. It was one just because. The other one was on Valentine's Day, and the last one here, it was for my birthday.
All right, I understand that. I have the flowers. I have the yellow roses that Mr. Cutler gave me, our first Valentine. And that would have been February 1983. I still have those, so I understand about that. So you loved him.
Yes, ma'am, and it was a time he walked 4 miles in a snowstorm to me.
All right,
And-
that's what I'm talking about.
That's true, Your Honor.
I was surprised because I wouldn't have did it for him.
All right, she's telling the truth. Can't condemn her. Can't condemn her.
But Miss
Well,
White,
leave it.
okay, you're holding on to those rose petals. That means you're holding on to something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
am.
deep down, you really do want this to work. You're afraid of being hurt,
Yes.
okay? And that's understandable. In a relationship, that risk is always there. But if you got somebody on the other side who's trying to take the steps to rebuild the trust, you got to meet them. You got to let them take those steps.
And you got to meet them halfway there.
And that's what he's here trying to do today, to help rebuild the trust.
However, he's only entitled to that if he hasn't breached her trust in the last year.
True.
And so that's why we're here today. Tell us how the trust was first broken. Tell us about that.
I found out that he had sex with this young lady. She had texted me. She told me that she needed to tell me something that was involving her and my husband. And so she was like, yeah, we had sex these past 3 Mondays. I was like, let me put my baby down because I had my daughter in my hand. And so she told me everything from he got her a job at his job, which I had no knowledge of. And he walked right through the door, looked at her, shook his head, walked to the bedroom. I followed him and told him, what are you running for now? Your secret is here, so give me the truth.
Wasn't running.
I told him, hey, I don't want to be with you. You can leave with her, and that's the end of it. later, she started playing on my phone, sending weird text messages.
There was a reason for that.
She was still in love with him, all this other stuff. They're gonna, potentially get together. And, I have the text messages to prove that she was texting him.
You told me I was special to you, and when we had sex, you felt so alive.
And so, Mr. Gunnels, you wrote, "Y'all playing, bro. Too grown for that. Sad."
And the other woman replied, "I don't want your wife to get my number, so I made this account."
Mr. Gunnels, did you have this text exchange with this coworker?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so you had sex with this other woman?
Not during that year, no.
Okay, but you have had sex with this woman while you were with Miss White?
Yes, that was the first occurrence.
So, Mr. Gunnels, you are here fighting for your relationship, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you end up sleeping with a coworker when you're a married man?
At that time, the other woman would make me feel like a man. She would not emasculate me. Jalecia had a problem with letting a man be a man.
He showed me a man, I wouldn't have to do that.
Okay.
And I totally have this whole year.
Okay, what was this other woman doing to make you feel like a man?
When I would do something for her or, just give her a compliment, she would validate that, "Oh, well, I like the fact that you're doing this for me." Jalecia, on the other hand, she did not validate me at all for the things that I did. Working 7 days a week, I laugh at 70 hours.
This is all for affirmation?
I laugh at 70 hours.
So let me ask you this. How did you meet this coworker? You said you got her a job, so you didn't meet her at work.
Mm-mm.
Technically.
No, actually.
Actually, me and the other woman were having conversations before I actually got serious with Jalecia. I was just kind of scoping the scene, seeing which woman would be the right woman for me.
So you saw that she was the better woman, point blank.
At that time, yes.
All right, but you couldn't let the other one go.
I did, Your Honor.
No, you didn't.
For a certain amount of time. And
No, there's a difference between letting go and just kind of holding the rein loosely.
Her name is still White. We got married by court and at the church. Why is your last name still White? Your last name is supposed to be Gunnels.
Not exactly. I sat there and told you that if you can stick 2 years being faithful to me, I would change my name. What did you do? You cheated.
That was before.
Embarrassed me.
That was before.
Negative.
We had already fixed that situation.
Negative.
Okay. Your Honor, we had already.
So you telling me that from day one, when she decided not to take your name, that emasculated you and started you down this track of feeling like she didn't see you as the man?
That's part of it.
I was using his phone, and a message came on his phone, and it said, "What's up?" So I was like, "Who is this? I don't know this person." And so I texted the person back. I was like, "What? Like, who are you?" And they was like, "Where he at?" And I was like, "What?"
What?
And so I scrolled the page down, and I saw a picture of her. She had on like a bra top and some shorts.
Okay, well, do you regret the affair or do you regret getting caught?
I honestly regret the affair because I felt empty inside. Your Honor, man to man, when you work and come home, wake up in the morning, go to work, and do the same thing every single day for about 2 to 3 years, you tend to become desensitized.
Okay, you talk to somebody who's been married for almost 30 years, who's worked in the same profession, the same job for the last 30 years with the same woman. I mean, so when you talk about, being robotic, I mean, that's not an excuse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I mean, you said man to man, so I'm just talking to you man to man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, man to man, that's what men do.
And wait a minute, how many hours do you work a day, love?
Many. 12, 14, just depends on what's going on.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, every day.
I understand.
Saturdays, Sundays, the work has to get done. So, yeah, it is a grind. But you knew that going in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, man to man, you can't use that as an excuse.
All right. I think we've heard enough testimony on this part. You have a lawsuit in this case as well, Ms. White.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the court briefly about that?
Yes, ma'am, I can. The confrontation I had with the young lady at his job that was sending text messages to my phone, I was just so fed up with it. So I went up there to her and I said, hey, I'm tired of you sending text messages to my phone. And she was like, yeah, I plan on doing something else with him again. So I muffed her in the face.
You did what?
You did what?
I mushed her in the face.
Okay.
You gave it a hand.
I have the evidence from my window being broken weeks later.
As far as the retaliation of you mushing her in her face, right?
I was taking my son
I am
to...
not-
Hold on, Mr. Gunnels.
I was taking my son to the zoo. However, on our way to the car, on the way to the car, I noticed that my window was shattered.
How do you know she broke out this window?
She later texted him and told him that, yeah, I broke your wife's window because she's not going to get away with hitting me in the face.
And this is the woman he was cheating with?
Yes.
She did not.
Okay. All right, did you replace the window?
No, sir.
Did you get an estimate to replace the window?
Yes, sir, I did.
And that's for the total of $700?
That's what he was going to charge me.
Okay, and you think he's responsible for that because of his infidelities?
Yes, sir.
As Ms. White has explained it, her window got broke because it was in retaliation for her mushing a woman in the face. And she mushed a woman in the face because it was the woman she confronted. And she confronted the woman because you were sleeping with this woman. Okay, you see how that chain goes?
In the past.
You see how that chain goes? It leads back to you.
I mean, you follow the line, it ends at you. But what kills me is legally, we can't hold you responsible for it.
Because it was done by another person. So we're going to have to dismiss your claim, but that still leaves us with the love suit.
And what we need to establish is whether or not you have cheated in the last year. So we have ordered a polygraph test of you, Mr. Gunnels, and we have the results.
All right.
At this time, the court would like to call certified polygraph examiner Michael Williams. Ron, would you please escort Mr. Williams into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you this afternoon?
Doing okay. Good to see you.
So in this case, a polygraph was given of Mr. Gunnels, is that correct?
That's correct.
And he was asked, other than the infidelity you admitted to your wife, are you currently having sexual relations with any of your co-workers? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the polygraph exam show?
There was no significant physiological response, which is an indication of truthfulness.
That's all I'm trying to say, Your Honor. That's all I'm trying to say.
Mr. Gunnels, you were asked, since May 2016 until the present time, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your wife? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the polygraph indicate?
There was no significant response, which indicated he was telling the truth.
All I'm saying, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna say this to you, Ms. White. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but it does pave a way to your future.
Yeah.
Can you forgive your husband?
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Gunnels, you came to court today to prove that you've been faithful to your wife over the last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've proven that.
Yes.
But it's not over. I don't care how emasculated you feel, how much of a grind it is, man up, because that's what life is.
And Your Honor, that's exactly what I'm about to do as of right now. Me being a man and doing what I needed to do for a year, and you're constantly emasculated and look like the bad guy. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to play the victim. I don't know. Jalecia, I love you. But I feel like I'm not ready to carry on this relationship. There might be a possibility for something in the future, but as of right now, no.
All right. If you listen, a person will tell you exactly who they are. He just told you.
Yeah.
You deserve, as Aretha Franklin said it best, RESPECT. So, let him go.